Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's URC clash between the Glasgow Warriors and the Sharks. And just still absolutely buzzing from the match earlier. I mean, it's been a terrific day of rugby so far. And hopefully this will just sort of continue on. And not so much maybe necessarily results-wise, but hopefully we see a really good game and a really good contest between the two sides. And a much improved performance from the Sharks. Both these sides did go down last week, Ken. So they'll be hoping for a better performance today. And for the Sharks, it's a big ask. It's a big ask for a lot of these SA teams to go over to the URC. And we haven't had a particularly good start to the season yet. You know, the Lions going down last night, the Bulls going down last night. You know, so the Bulls are winless in 2. Sharks lost last weekend very heavily against Munster. So an opportunity for them to try and come back and put in a much improved performance. And we will hopefully be crossing to Carl Usher, who will be in the stadium at a stage. So we'll sort that out in a bit now as well. Busy watching the Hearts, the Lions results. It's just depressing, to be honest. But yeah, so hopefully we'll be crossing to Carl at half time. Inside the stadium, which would be quite cool. I'm just going to try and confirm all that and stuff like that as we do. But yeah, give me a score prediction. I'm going to put a poll in the comments to sort of see what everybody reckons. Who will win this clash? Chiviza won by a drop goal, reigning in Glasgow. That should be quite. Yeah, actually, I was just watching a footy now, so I didn't get to watch the Benetton game. But that's back-to-back victories, 28-27. That's a hell of a game. Edinburgh just going down. So Benetton 2 wins out of 2, and I mean, they had to come in behind to beat the Stormers last week, which they did very well. I was very impressed with their composure. But yeah, let's see back game for some exciting rugby. I hope it is exciting. Let's hope we get a really, really good game in today between the Sharks and I'm just keen to sort of continue learning about these sides and stuff like that. So as he's sorting out the team sheet and stuff like that, and we'll go through the teams. A couple of changes for the Sharks. Very interested to see how Mary Costa goes at inside centre, which will be quite cool. And just want to get myself sorted for the Warriors side. Where is this? So there are a couple of changes for the Glasgow Warriors, and a lot of experience coming into the front row with the likes of Jamie Batty and Fraser Brown, who will pack down at 1 and 2. Fraser Brown, a co-captain of the club. He's got well over 100 caps for Glasgow Warriors. Very experienced campaigner. He'll be a very important player today. But Faison Barter has actually come into the side as well for the Sharks, which is a very nice addition. He was part of the Springbok alignment camps. He's dubbed as a potential future Springbok, and sort of missed a lot of the Currie Cup through injuries. And we've seen quite a lot of turn from Fury. But good to see Faison Barter back in the mix and starting today. And hopefully you can see a nice big game from him. I'm a very big Faison Barter fan. I don't think he's anywhere near Springbok quality just yet, but I think he's a good player in there. And you know, the more he plays, the more that can sort of be honed in. Another big change: Thomas Gordon comes in the number 7. In place of Rory Darge, who's ruled out for this weekend, which is a pity because I thought he played very well last weekend. In the locks, Scott Cummins and Richie Gray keep their position. And then, I said the only change in the back row is Thomas Gordon coming in there. And there's also a change at fly half. No Duncan Weir this weekend, which means Ross Thompson will start for Glasgow Warriors. The two wings, he partners George Horn in the halfback pairing. The two wings today for Glasgow Warriors will be Rufus McLean and Carl Steyn. And the same centers as last weekend, Sam Johnson and Sienna Tupaluto. Off the bench for Glasgow Warriors, it's George Turner, Brad Thayer, Murphy Walker, who's on debut for Glasgow, and then Lewis Bean, Andy Miller covering the rest of the scrum, and then Jamie Dobie, Pete Horn, and Stafford McDowell complete the Glasgow 23, which I'm just getting sorted on my side so that I've got everything I need. So give me your sort of score predictions. About 4 minutes to go until kickoff. We'll go through the Sharks side as well. A couple of interesting changes there. And I'm very keen to see Pepsi Buthelezi. I always am keen to see Pepsi Buthelezi. He's one of my favorite players at the moment. And he's just so composed and so mature for somebody of his age. And look, there's been a lot of hype around Evan Ruiz because of his sort of abrasiveness, but I think that him and Pesi Buthelezi are definitely sort of going toe to toe, and Ulrich Lowe in many ways, for sort of that potential outside call up to the Springboks in the end of the year tour. There we go. Referees today will be Ben Whitehouse, who's been assisted by Finley Brown and Dunks McClement, and the TMO for today is Ian Davies. I just want to print my team sheet. I'm just going to have to go fetch it in a bit, and then I'll rejoin you guys. And let's see who's hanging out here in the comments. Right. So as Giver says, no way I was right. 28-27, Benetton win. Reigning in Whitney, Glasgow 33, Sharks 20, says Esper Kiva. Kevin reckon Sharks to win this one. Last weekend result was pretty hard to take. Happy Box supporter is Mark Junior Lee. Also, I don't know if GVR from Northern is here, but he's the latest member of the Freedom Sports Members Club. If you'd like to become a member, it is the pinned comment there. In fact, it's not the pinned comment, so I'll make it the pinned comment. And yeah, just look a bit of a balmy day over there. It looks like it's a bit of rain there. We'll wait to hear from Carl exactly what the conditions are down in the stadium. So we wait to see then. And now, of course, why is it? Like, I've been watching these adverts absolutely fine. Then as soon as the game's about to begin, now the stream starts giving me some sketchy issues. Not happy. Not impressed. Not impressed. Right, so the Sharks start today is Crazy Mona, Faison Barter, Thomas Toy, the two locks today are Larue Roots, who gets a new partner in Ruben van Heerden, Dylan Richardson, and Pepsi Buthelezi will partner today by Gebrand Krobler in the number 7 jersey. It will be Ruan Pinar and Buda Chamberlain who continue their halfback combination, and the wings are unchanged. Like Abrams, Yao Penclair. Fullback will be Curran Bosch, and the centers. Vernon Cox got a new center pairing. He has been playing with Murray Costa today, so we're interested to sort of see how he goes there. All right, I'm just going to quickly go grab my team sheet, and then I'll be back right now. Where we at? France Sabre Sharks versus Spain for Lions. Please, and thank you. Went with Sharks. No logical reason why other than being a Durban boy. Fair enough. While Sharks are playing left to right. Kickoff is just a few seconds away. Mike King says, well done, Bokke. Thanks for an epic win and an epic restoration of pride. We are the only team that can rattle the All Blacks' sublime performance. Yeah, it was a good performance. I'm very chuffed. Right, time is on. Curran Bosch gets things underway, and Werner Koch is out the blocks racing. That's a solid take there. Ooh, immediately he's found the space down here. Kick and chase there from Lucius McLean. Well, this is a lot of pressure, early pressure from Sharks. Curran Bosch is backpedaling. This ball is not sitting up for him nicely. Eventually gets away and brings out the boot. Wow, jeepers. You talk about it. A solid kick change, but a very bad defensive line there. And jeepers me. Yeah, well, Rufus McLean was put into a gap and looked up and saw nobody ahead of him. And he sped all the way down the side. Little chip ahead from the halfway line. Curran Bosch backpedaling. The ball bounced completely away from him. Almost got away from him towards McLean. And then Curran Bosch doing well to get away from him. And the ball skewing off the right end of his foot. So it'll actually be a Glasgow Warriors line out pretty much on the 5 meters. So that's a hell of a start for them. She has been giving products. Oh no, it's been an absolute disaster. I need to sort it out, but I haven't really had time to be able to sort of try and sort it out. But hopefully we'll have it. So Glasgow Warriors trying to rolling more here. They're broken away. It's eventually gone down right towards the corner. I'd be surprised if this isn't a penalty advantage. The ball pops out. Solid carry there from JB Batty, who's back in the starting lineup. Oh, wrapping around is Thompson underneath the point. Well, I said that I enjoyed the Glasgow Warriors, but that is pretty shambolic from the Sharks. Far, far too easy. The home side are ahead in just within 2 minutes. A couple of missed tackles, and I mean a bit of a wraparound there from Ross Thompson, who's into the side, and yeah, he just sort of waltzed in there. So it was just very, very solid rolling more. It sort of collapsed towards down the right and far by the left hand side by the corner. There was a penalty advantage, I think. Decent carry by Jamie Batchy. Nice big hit on him from Lou Roots. And then this was really good. The wraparound there, inside ball there was to Sam Johnson. I think it's Thompson and just glides through the space onto the corner, underneath the poles. Not a good start for the visitors. Yeah, could be a lot better, to be honest. Hans Lucy says, up the Sharks. Thanks for the great channel as well. It's a pleasure, my king. Thank you for jumping on. Is Lionel Cornelius starting? Lionel Cornelius is actually no longer at the Sharks. He was there on loan for the Currie Cup, so he's actually not involved in the squad. He said he'd want to be, but for whatever reason, decided not to sort of go there. Come on, Sharks, step up gear today. Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't quite that. But Attempt two. Curran Bosch going deep with the restart. This time, Yao Penclair watching his wing a little bit more carefully. It's out to the 22, so George Horn can't go into touch here. He is looking to bring in the box kick. Puts that high in the air. It's a solid chase line for Glasgow. There's a lot of players behind there. And jeepers, well, nobody contested for. Oh, and the Orflin almost got away. So it's turnover ball here for the Sharks. I think we'll have our first scrum. Oh, it's a penalty. But ref, what about the knock-on? Eyeball. Did I miss it? I swear there was a knock. I mean, that surely was a knock-on from Glasgow there. And then a penalty for not... I think it's for... I don't know if it's for not releasing or what the story is there. Well, the pullback is the story from Grobler. So... yeah, well, 7-0 down. Let me add the 2 extras. And they've got a penalty on the halfway line. So Thompson will be able to kick this towards the corner and put them under more pressure. This could have gone a little bit better, to be honest. Someone give Wilson a black eye so we can laugh at the next rugby pass video. Hopefully the opposite of the Bulls game. The Sharks put unanswered points. Well. Decent wall defense there from the Sharks this time. Fraser Brown controlling things at the back, but they're only going sideways, so they have to use it. Horn goes to Johnson at first receiver, then gets wrapped up by Butch Chamberlain and Murray Costa. Now Thompson, once again, he gets wrapped up by Dylan Richardson, who gets up, and it's a big counter ruck there from the Sharks, who turned the ball over very, very well. The Roots emerging with it, going on for a bit of a run, the big lock. The ball skews out the back, and Kwesi Mona decides to run 50-50 passes straight to Glasgow. And they're on the front foot, running their hands here, Glasgow. Wilson's already eventually brought down. Really poor pass from Kwesi Mona. Now Thompson tried to stab it in behind. The ball came off of Pesi Buthelezi, and Butch Chamberlain has kept it alive. He's still going as Butch Chamberlain. They're now forced on the floor, pop up to Pheasant Barter. The Sharks now going the length of the field, up to the 10 meters so far. Broken play suits the Sharks. Long ball out to Curran Bosch. He then sees a bit of space. He's And that'll run into touch very nicely. Very good kick there from Curran Bosch. No, it's not 50-22 because it's passed back. Commentators learn the rules. It would be a 50-22, except for the fact that they originated inside the Glasgow Warriors half. So it will not be a Sharks put into the line. It will be a Glasgow lineup, but it's a very nice kick in there. So it will be a Glasgow line out, but still a nice opportunity for the Sharks to put a bit of pressure, try and force a... and it's a penalty to the Sharks. Offside is the call there, so it's penalty for Sharks. We weren't thinking about taking it early, but that's a very nice result for the Sharks. They can kick it to the corner and try and get themselves back in the game. Well, they're going to take the 3 points here, the Sharks. Opportunity for Curran Bosch. Last week at Tobin Park. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. But a win to deal with for Curran Bosch, and he does miss it down to the left there, I think it was. So not the best kick there from Curran Bosch, and that's frustrating from the Sharks. I think going for points is probably the right call, although they could have gone right to the corner. So, yeah, I suppose, what do you have much to learn to lose from being brave at the moment? I mean, at the moment, we're being outclassed wherever we go. So is there really much to lose by deciding to maybe go for the try? Anyway, Pesi Buthelezi on the restart is going to carry it up to the halfway line. Ron Pino looking for a quick ball, giving it to Buddha Chamberlain, who goes to the boot, going for distance rather than contestable. It'll land just inside the 22. Forbes gives it across to Thompson, who tries to find touch on the left-hand side. Buddha Chamberlain is well positioned, goes inside to Curran Bosch, who leads safely to 22. Now looks towards the left-hand spot. In fact, punts it down the middle of the park. And that ball is rolling, rolling, rolling. It will not go dead. Well, the ball eventually runs into touch off the Glasgow boot and will be a Sharks line out on just beyond the 10-meter. Not a bad clearance, but the Sharks nice opportunity to get things going back inside the Glasgow half. Right, I think this is the first. I think this is the first line for the line. I mean, for the Sharks. So early opportunity here for President Barch to hit his man, and it's contested, and they do win it to Glasgow. So not a good start there. And Kwesi Mona's now shift the tackle. Really, really strong carry there from Coombs. Sorry, Jack Dempsey. I'm on the wrong game here. Jack Dempsey. Now they're springing it wide. Now Tupaluto coming inside, going outside. Werner Koch, who eventually brings him down. Inside ball, Mary Costa knocking it on there, trying to intercept it. So it's a knock-on advantage for Glasgow. Now to Thompson. Tupaluto again. Oh, really good line there. Ryan Wilson running the hands. It's Jack Dempsey down the blind side. He cuts inside. He's eventually brought down by Yao Penkler. Big tackle there. Nice carry there. That's why he's still on the front foot here. Pesi Buthelezi desperately trying to roll, but he has conceded a penalty advantage, I think. Looked like he held up his arm there. Not convinced. George Wonga himself. Now counter coming in there from Thomas Toy, but he's been told to leave it. Gordon now taking it in. Now inside ball to Forbes, who's wrapped up very well by Murray Costa, the youngster. Now McCullum coming inside there. Fraser Brown, the captain, co-captain. Horn going towards the right, spot a bit of space. Good offloading in the tackles there. Now staying. No advantage. Go back for the penalty. Yeah, it was a penalty advantage. We're not rolling away. I think it was against Pepsi Buthelezi. So there was a penalty advantage for the knock-on from Murray Costa, which we talked about this earlier. You know, the whole idea of deliberate knock-ons and whether it is being too harshly implemented. And I think it's an interesting conversation to have because it's now getting to the stage where you cannot try and contest for the ball, or else you can see the penalty. You know, it's a bit of muddy for me. I just don't like it. I just think it's getting too easy to make everything penalties. GBR from Norway says in hindsight the Cheetahs did pretty well in this comp. Semis twice being hard pressed to see other teams is doing it. I think they'll get there. The neighbor in my area came over after we won because I screamed so bloody loud. Love that. What a win for Benetton. That's now 7 straight wins. Their last loss. If there's a URC team of the month, they get my vote. Well, I suppose we are into a new month, so it starts now in October. But we go until the end of the month, and then we will have a bit of a break. Time is currently off, by the way. Glasgow got a penalty on the 5 meter, trying to decide what to do with it. So they're going to go for the line here. Oh, Glasgow. Thompson knocks it onto the 5 meter. Right, Fraser Brown will look for his line-out jumper. It's a very solid take there from the number 4. That's Scott Cummings, but it's a very good maul defense so far. Thomas Toy's got hands on the ball as well. Doesn't have to roll away because it is a maul. But they do manage to get the ball back. Good cleaning out there from Glasgow. Big hit there from the Roots. Still under the cosh here are Sharks and a lot of pressure. Scott Cummings now at scrum half there. Gordon with a very solid carry as well, getting up to almost the Sharks try line. Pick up and go from Cummings is well met by Krobler and Richardson, but he's still going. They're trying to get hands on the ball. They do drive him back eventually through the help of Thomas Toy as well. It's available once again for another pick up and go. Some emergency players from the Sharks coming to the left-hand side, seeing a bit of space open there. Fraser Brown is knocked backwards. Now Horn. Oh, he goes for the cross kick. And he can take it. He does take it, does. Stay him in the inside ball to Thacker Abrams, but there was a penalty advantage, so they will go back forward. Well, Abrams would have been away there had there not been an advantage, but unfortunately for them, there was, and they'll go back for a penalty. So Sharks not out the woods yet, but doing well to sort of just not concede just yet. Under a lot of pressure in the opening 13 minutes, though. Oh, it looks like Richardson's off, by the way. They've gone, it's gone, and they're over. I think it's Ryan Wilson that's gone over. The captain went to the home side, and with the man in the bin, they've quickly gone over through Ryan Wilson. That's another try. This is a horrible start from the Sharks. Horrible start from the Sharks. It's far too easy, isn't it? You can just see, as the tackles go in there, Ryan Wilson just rips it and spins around and goes himself. It's good awareness as they add the extra 2, and the Sharks 14-0 after 14 minutes. Well, this spells trouble. This spells trouble. It's all of a sudden become a very long day at the office for the Sharks. Oh dear. Oh dear. The North Hemisphere was easy. A lot of people said, well, that only very quickly does not. Archie says, I want the traffic cone that sits on the head of the Duke of Wellington statue in Glasgow. The Northern game is much different than Super Rugby. We must adapt quick chaos. Me thinking the balls are personal to do it, but lack composure, it seems uncharacteristic. Yeah, look, I think it's going to take a while for all these sides to sort of adapt to the new conditions, stuff like that. Meantime, the time is currently off. Glasgow players down, getting some attention on the halfway line, and I'm going to try and sort out this yellow card for Dylan Richardson, which is going to go there. So the Sharks down to 14 men for the time being. Bit of chase there from Werner Koch, who does bring down Jack Dempsey inside the 22. Now box kick from Horn, looking for touch. And finding it pretty nasty up just before the 10-meter line. So a decent extra play there from Glasgow. And Sharks need to get into this game. They actually need to hold on to the ball. They can't be chasing this game the entire game. It's going to be a long 80 minutes if they do. You need to get themselves on their hands on the ball and just sort of start getting into their flow. Another time off here as Quizimona's busy getting some shoelaces changed. It's a couple of frustrating changes. I mean, stoppages so far. Not a good start for the Sharks. I was worried that the team was struggling in Europe earlier, and it's definitely showing. I think Super Rugby was better for us. Come on, let's raise that salary cap. Yeah, I think we need to have to. I think if we want to compete, we will have to relook at that salary cap. We can't have a salary cap which can't match. At least, at the very least, you have to be able to match all the flipping the URC teams. We can't have. Why is Arcus Neyman playing for flipping Munster? Should and Damon DeLindy. Got to be paying those guys. Got to get them back in the country. Well, it's a whole change of boots here for Quizimana. It's definitely frustrating. Sharks playing so poorly. Save says, are the Bok players immediately joining the URC, or are they coming back to the FC to rest? Yeah, they won't be joining their teams. We'll only be seeing the Bok players in the URC after the end of year tour, so in like December, if I finally figure out how to be a member, I'll be here to share with you, Stephen. Appreciate you. Yeah, look, welcome to the members club. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we can go through some bad times and good times. It's teams need to get used to European style of rugby. It'll take time. And that's a turnover ball, I think, from Glat. No, it's available for. No, it is a turnover ball. So the Sharks more defended very well there. It goes down. They don't have to reach anything because it is a more, and it's a turnover possession. So the Sharks are not getting much right at the moment, as I need to get my clock back on. Very past the Bok players won't be back for the new year. Well, I don't understand why they can't play in December. I saw that whole thing that they're only back in January, but get them back, man. They're going to have a couple of weeks off now. Look, it makes no difference to me as a Lions fan because we ain't getting shit back unless we sign someone. But no current spring marks with the team at the moment for the Lions. But see, the problem is the URC teams are only going to get better. All those British and Irish Lions players are going to start coming back quite soon. Listen here, Kat. What are you doing? Reset scrum here. I can't believe we're over the 8,000 subs. It's still it's still quite surreal to see it on the screen there. It's going to be very strange if we ever get to 10,000. Seeing like 5 digits on the screen will be quite a quite something. Reset scrum here. Come on, chaps, get on with this. I hate a re-scrum. Says Andrew Warren says, and all our Sharks players just won't even start. They should just give us some back. Yeah, look, I'm hoping that it will be a smaller squad that'll go into it at the end of the year. We don't need to be taking 45 people. And a penalty for Glasgow going down. I think it's on Quasimona's side. They don't seem to be particularly happy with the call. Only SA team to win though. Yeah, look, I mean, the Lions will. Like, I'm not even that upset about the game last night, to be honest. I saw some encouraging signs. We can't compete with the pound for now, but hopefully the teams can get some EU sponsors soon and recruit some more world-class players, even our expats. Well, that's the thing. You don't even have to bring back your Damien Delindis, your Cheslin Colbys. Bring back your Rohan Janssen van Rensburgs. Bring back, James Hall's playing some very nice rugby in the top 14. It's one of those players. Even like Dylan Lates get back into the country, Raymond Root is playing some very nice. It's a very, very good line run there by Johnson off the back of the Glasgow line out. Very solid stuff now. Ryan Fraser, Razor Brown. Wilson once again involved. Thompson off to McLean. So it was Forbes there actually to McLean. Now Fraser Brown once again carrying it up. To Baluta now. Big tackle. Oh, it wasn't Hull. Big tackle on Jamie Batty initially. Now the kick in behind. Johnson's putting a lot of pressure on Pancake. Oh, it's up. Oh, Kerwin Bosch, you butchered this. Kerwin Bosch has tried to flip in go, and he's conceded a penalty. Kerwin Bosch had to put that on the boot, mate. Even if you flipping just chipped it out, you've just gifted that penalty on the 5 meter here. It's a brilliant grab in behind from Thompson. And you've got Johnson. And Penkler gets away to Kerwin Bosch, who I think actually had the time to go to the boot. Tries to step the play, gets wrapped up in the tackle. They smother him very quickly and win the penalty. Glasgow have now got a penalty on the 5 meter. Playing against a 14-man Shark side, it could get quite ugly quite quickly. They need a good break after being above for ages. This coffee is very hot. That's a fair point. The squad we took was way too big, plus minimal game time given to them. Well, I think that's why they didn't really replay. I mean, we lost a lot of players who came back. Thomas Toy came back. Nick Stenson from Rensburg came back. As did who else came back? We lost another lock. Who else left? Somebody else left. Anyway, so running more here for Glasgow. Brown breaks, but he's wrapped up by Thomas Latoya and Pepsi Buthelezi as well. No penalty advantage or anything, so it's a nice small defense there from the Sharks. But now, once again, I mean, you can't defend like this for full 80. You will be absolutely naked. As Glasgow player gets shoved into contact there from his teammate. It's a big carry from him. Fraser Brown wants to go himself. He does go himself. Oh, a bit of a variation. Gives the ball away to his fellow front rower, and the try's been given. The try's been given. Oh my living! This is getting a bit childish now. Well, it's Jamie Batty that's got it, and Fraser Brown with a bit of a try assist there. Looked like he was going to go himself. Picked up and went, and then gave the inside ball to his fellow front rower, who was up against Brant Krobler and Ruben van Heerden. No, it's Krobler. What kind of tackle is that? You can't do one of these sort of go down with the player when he's on the try line. You've got to put your shoulder into it. That's really poor defense. Him and Butter Chamberlain trying to make that tackle. You've got to be doing better than that. 19-0 with a kick to come. This is a really horrible start from the Sharks. Is Earl Rose make a comeback to Lions? Don't insult me. Respect me. Sharks will lose bad, says KSVD players, and GFC are thinking on the India tour. Maybe Evan Rose can replace Jasper Visa. You know what it is? If they're not going to play, then no. Well, I suppose they're not playing URC. Actually, I'm very interested to see what will happen with the end of year tour. If we will see some new players. A couple people talking about Tyron Green coming into the squad, playing very nice rugby over there at the Harlequins. That's somebody that the Lions need to get back. 21-0 after less than 20 minutes, and the Sharks just look a bit shell-shocked. The tackling's been pretty off. They haven't been able to get their hands on the ball at all. At least you go back to basics. Just keep a bit of possession, play a little bit, sort your defensive lines out. Just get back to basics, because at the moment this has been really, really poor. Well, there we go. Well, almost a very good contest in the air from Yao Penclair. Jack Dempsey getting the offload away. And Richardson is back on, so back up to a full contingent for the Sharks, which will help a lot. Glasgow parked inside the 22. And the ball's not coming out, so it will be a scrum to Glasgow. All right, so we're going to have scrum here. Glasgow put in. After this game, it'll be Zebra versus Ulster. We won't be live for that, but we will be live for Munster versus Stormers tonight, which unfortunately I also don't see going particularly well. So the Sharks, Munster last weekend, Scottish side today in Glasgow Warriors, and then a Welsh side next weekend in Ospreys, and then they lost. It's a bit of a break there in the back there from Glasgow Warriors. Now back to Thompson, who picks it down the middle of the park. Is my timer still on? Yeah, it is. They're out in the full. It is, That's a big mistake from Thompson, who's kicked it out in the full. So they'll go all the way back to about the 22. So that's a nice gift to the Sharks. You will come back to literally a line out inside the 22. So this is going to be a nice opportunity for them to try and hit back. But yeah, Sharks then have Ospreys. Then the weekend after that, they're away at Cardiff. And then the following weekend will be... I actually don't think we play in that following weekend. That 23rd of October weekend. I think we're back by then. Yeah. So and then after that, the next games are the Stormers and stuff all down in South Africa. So we've actually only got 2 more games for the South African sides, I think. Right, we're running more here from the Sharks. Oh, they've got a bit of a run over going, and they've peeled off. They're still going in the more. Yeah, Faison Barton now going himself. He's working really hard. Gets up towards the 5 meter. It's a nice carry from the young hooker. Now Grobler, he picks up and goes. Another pick up and go to keep him in the forwards here. The Sharks need a bit of composure here. They got penalty advantage as well. Another pick up and go. This time on the roots, the massive lock. Absolute unit of a player. Now Grobler picks up and goes. Comes up short. Has another go, which you can't do. So we'll go back for the penalty, I'm sure. KCD says they will lose guaranteed. I mean, it's not exactly a massive shout to say at 21-0 they're going to lose. Sharks having their trousers pulled down today. Kevin says looking so forward to the Sharks. They fell again. This is getting real ugly. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. Like the Cheetahs took 3 months to get good and win these teams. A gosh league horrible from South Africa point of view. South African franchise so poor, says Mark Dunphy. Yeah, the Cheetahs were decent. Look, I mean, as I said, I think we can only judge once we get all the players back and we start seeing it. I mean, the Sharks get 10 players back, 10 Springboks back, and good Springboks at that, as well as Ntika Mozenochi is currently injured. So, there's 11 starters that are going to come back into the Sharks side. So it will be a very, very different side in a couple of months. I think tap and go. Yeah, Thomas Toy's got himself. I think he's lost the ball, by the way. The ball looked like he came loose, but they managed to retain. And Nalu Roots goes himself. Right on the try line here, the Sharks. They just need grounding. And held up is the call. I think my time is a little bit off. No, it's actually fine. Now, what's going on here, SRF? Head injury at the moment. Oh, I think he's grounded us, by the way. I think they could be grounding it, I don't even know if they're looking. Excuse to save for Greeks and Pumas. Greeks went 0-11 and unlocked and carrying up to playoff. Exactly. It does take time. It does take time. Yeah, so at halftime, you're going to be going live to the stadium. How cool is that? How flipping cool is that? Like, I know it's maybe I'm just thinking it's more cooler than it really is. But this is exactly what we wanted to do when we started this channel. Be able to take you guys to games, and we are going to be going to Carl at halftime, who is currently sitting at the Scotstoun Stadium. You just seen his photos now, so it'll be really, really cool to do a halftime chat. We can find out what the conditions are like, what the atmosphere is like, what it's like to be back with live rugby. So very jealous that he is there. I reckon this is a try. You know, I'm seeing grounding there. Yeah, I think the Sharks gonna hit back here. I think they got grounding. Try. It's gonna stand. It's gonna stand. Yep, there it is. Well, the Sharks hit back. We're back, boys. That's actually very important. You know, I think that given all the pressure and stuff that they've been under, to be able to get that try will be quite a big bonus for them. And Curran Bosch will obviously be on kicking duties. Right, no issue from Curran Bosch. It was pretty much right in front. So, as you'd imagine. Right, so restart from Glasgow going towards the left-hand side. Well, good, really well taken in the air, actually, by Ruben van Heerden. Well, 14 minutes to go, and I need to get my time back on. Right, Ruan Pino now looking for the box kick. Just outside 22, so can't find touch. So you go down the middle of the park. Now Pinkley has chased. Oh, it's gone straight into touch. Oh, Ruan Pino, you can't afford to do that, mate. I'm about to say 3 players came flying in to see what was going on. They looked like there's a bit of a ruckus. And it doesn't look like it's anything, but Ruan Pino's kicked that into touch on the full, which is a horrible mistake. After scoring points, to then do that, put your team straight back under pressure is really frustrating. Bulls were smashed yesterday by Connacht, Ireland's weakest team. Go Sharks, says Darren Tanner. Who is the best South African team when all players available? In theory, it's the Bulls, who don't get that many players back. I don't think. I mean, you think about it, it's Mornay Steyn, it's Trevor Nyakane, it is. If I actually need to bring up the Springbok squad and we just count how many players we will see coming back. In theory, it's the Bulls. I didn't watch last night, so I can't really comment. But it doesn't look like they're hitting their straps particularly well at the moment. It's a very, very solid carry there off the back of the line. Now Fraser Brown on the front foot there up to the 22. Glasgow Warriors looking to attack once again. Now they're going to the left. Well wrapped up by Ruan Pino. Fraser Brown once again. I mean, that must be his. Oh, he's driven backwards, but that must be about his 6th or 7th carry so far this half. So good defense by the Sharks, driving Glasgow Warriors back. Dempsey puts his head down, trying to make a few meters, but he's wrapped up well. Now going back towards the left. Thompson's wrapping around, gives it to Tupeluto. And then back towards 10 meters. This is very good defense by the Sharks. Mustang, that's another big hit as well. Thomas Toy and Brand Krobler in the number 7 jersey today. Now a bit of space out wide. Johnson goes to, it's a bit of a horrible pass to Stay, but he brushes off Thacker Abrahams, and the ball comes loose, and Abrahams pounced on it, so the Sharks have turned this over. Pepsi Buthelezi filling in at scrum half, and now my flipping stream has gone down. Wait, we're back. They got penalty advantage here, do the Sharks, I think, or could be a knock-on advantage. Oh, a bit of a fumble from Curran Bosch, who then goes down to the boot. It is a penalty advantage, so we'll go back for the Right. I need you guys to have your flipping. Okay, so in terms of players that will be returning to the various squads, looking at it, so Stephen Kitsoff, Stephen Kitsoff and Franz Maherba will both return to Stormers. Sharks have gone for the line, by the way. It's a decent touch finder as well. So Fez and Bart will feed the line out from inside the 22. Sharks sort of get clawing themselves back in. A try here, and all of a sudden it could be a game on. Decent take from Krobler there, the line out. Fez and Bart to control anything. The last time they had a very nice ball carry. Now Pesi Buthelezi comes and joins the maul. And they're trying to sort of sprint off to the left. The ball does come down. I don't know if it'll be available. They've got an advantage here. And it's a penalty for deliberately putting it down so they can go even closer to the line. Sure, you go for the corner again as well. KCV says first no, and Jake White said the Irish teams are in very good position, a very good side. Irish teams are always strong, says GVR from Rowan. Connacht are probably higher than 7th or 8th best in the league. Leinster is an international team on paper. Yeah, no facts. I rate Werner so much. He looks good at 13 for the Sharks, incredibly high work rate. And Bosch going from Bach hopeful to 0 pretty quickly. Yeah, unfortunately, he's kind of just dropped off, hasn't he? So in terms of a couple of players who will be returning, we'll go through it now. Maybe we'll go through it at half time. As we wait for this line on the 5 meter. So Fez and Martin needs to find his man. Look, as I said, if the Sharks can score here, it'll be a nice bit of a momentum shift. And they've lost it, I think. Yep, they've lost it. Right, well, never mind. Hey, take it all back. It would have been a nice momentum shifter, but they've lost the ball. And now George Horn will find touch. It's decent touch find. Oh, not the brace find. They're still inside the 22, so it's still under a little bit of pressure. But yeah, so Stephen Kitsoff and Franz Maherba will rejoin Stormers. Oxenchair will go back to the Sharks. Trevin Yakani will go back to the Bulls. Johan Kobalal will go back to the Bulls. Bongi Manambi will probably go to the Sharks by the time. Yeah, he will go to the Sharks by the time we get there. Marvin Ori will go back to Stormers. All the other locks are based overseas. Sia Khaleesi and decent carry there from Krobler. I think they've got an advantage up for early pushing. No. Yeah, very good pitching advantage. Mari Costa banging it up. First carry of the ball for the youngster there. Ruan Pino, quick ball to Kwesi Mono. He's built up a little bit of steam. Nice continuity. Oh, pick up a go. Thomas Latoya in the gap. Oh, Ruan Pino can't hold. Oh, it must be so difficult being Thomas Latoya, having all that flair, all that pace. And then you've got somebody like Ruan Pino who just can't take the ball there. Oh, what more must a prop do? What more must a prop do? He just burst through the middle here to Thomas Latoya and trying to get the offload to Ruan Pino. It wasn't the best offload. But yeah, apart from that, in terms of players coming back, Sia Khaleesi will rejoin the Sharks. Marco Verstappen will not be rejoining the Bulls. So everybody, all the other loose forward and stuff are all overseas based. Herschel Yankees goes back to the Stormers. Grant Williams goes back to the Sharks. Mornay Stain goes back to the Bulls. The Kanyam goes back to the Sharks. Fassi goes back to the Sharks. Mapipi goes back to the Sharks. Spoon Corsi goes back to the Sharks. Russell Spitman goes back to the Cheetahs. Dane Willemser goes back to the Stormers. So yeah, Stormers and the Sharks getting the most players back. And that's a very big counter shove from Glasgow after the line-out. Forcing the Sharks back, a little under pressure there, but they're sort of still working quite hard to try and get some momentum. But it looks like they've got hands in and around Fez and Barter. Now that goes down, and they're just going to lie there, and it is a turnover ball. That's brilliant defense. Very, very good defense from Glasgow. Under pressure a lot, Shell Warriors, but staying with it. Staying with it so far, and long may they continue for them. Rich Course says, hello all, happy about the box. Sad for our URC teams that lost holding thumbs for the remaining 2. Damien off to Leinster again. No? Which Damien? Willemser. Willemser signed a very long contract with Stormers. They even leaked his salary. He's on millions. So he's not going anywhere. Yeah, as Mark Dunphy says, if you're talking about Dale Endy, yeah, he's at Munster. So, he'll go back to Munster and rejoin Archie Snyman. But that's what I'm saying. That's where the frustration for me comes, is that you're going to be playing against Archie Snyman and Damien Dale Endy in the same flippin' league. Surely we can match those salaries. Surely we can give Damien Lindy to the Lions. It's exactly what I need, by the way. Surely Archis Neyman can also go to probably also the Lions. We just need all the players, don't we? But realistically, I mean, Archis Neyman would be very good at. I don't know if he walks to all those sides, but I think lock-wise, Stormers they could use. I mean, if they hit him and Solomon Rutt, that would be a very, very good combination. I think the Sharks locks are not phenomenal, so it also would be a good addition there. And that's the problem. The only international lock we've got as a sort of breakthrough 2 George Horn bringing it towards the back, looking to try and exit here. He looks for touch. He will find it by the halfway line. That's a very nice touch finder, literally on the halfway line. That's perfect. That's perfectly extra there from Glasgow. That's really good. That's a really solid line win as well for Glasgow Warriors, who starting the ball there through Ryan Wilson. So Sharks just doing everything wrong at the moment. Running the hands. Forbes going after into the halfway line. Up past the 10-meter. Very solid carry there by Batty. Pick up and go from Jack Dempsey. Richie Ray coming back towards Facebook Ladies. He does make the tackle. Cummings is a little bit isolated. Ruben van Heerden thought about trying to go for it, but missed it. Thompson bringing in Ryan Wilson. Pops the ball out to Horn. Horn goes back behind to Tupelotu. Now Ryan Wilson with another carry. Gets the ball away to, I think it's McCullen. The ball goes behind now. Needs someone to straighten. And Johnson does. Pops the ball up though for Thompson. Oh, that's a huge tackle on Thompson from Werner Koch. Still go forward, Boyer from Glasgow. Continuity is looking good. Oh, Dempsey's really through. Yeah, still eventually being brought down inside 22. Horn goes to Thompson. Thompson swings it out. Tupelotu, ball over the top to Johnson. Ball out wide to McLean. McLean up to, that's just good offloading, isn't it? Glasgow over for their bonus point try. Brilliant offloading. The continuity is so impressive. And just every single time a player's being tackled, always looking for that offload. A couple of offloads there. It's Forbes who eventually goes over, but that is just beautiful continuity. Fantastic offloads. Really looking good there. Just go from the right chair, and you can just see run the hands. Thompson. Long pass out to Johnson. To Tupelotu. Ball over the top to Johnson. Saxon Thake Abrams out to McClary, comes inside, and then very good support play by Cole Forbes. He comes on the inside line and goes over for the fourth try. Money talks, lad. Both on 300,000 euros. Yeah. But if you look at the salary caps, it's not astronomically different between South Africa and Ireland. So, maybe it might not be able to sort of match, like 5 million rand a year, but if we do start looking at extending our salary cap between your Springbok contract and obviously your Storm, whatever union you're at contract, we could probably start matching some of these guys' salaries. You're never going to match the Premiership and top 14. But with a little bit of extra cash, and hopefully we do get some cash from the tournament as Thompson looks to add the extras, and he does indeed 28-7. Hopefully we can start, just be able to. As I said, I don't mind if it's one thing losing to the Premiership and to the top 14, but being in this competition, when we start getting euros sitting in our bank accounts, we must start trying to look at our salary cap and stuff. Well, they've won it back with the kickoff here, have Sharks. Really good work there by Pink there. No, nice big solid carry there by LaRue Roots. Like the Sharks need to hit back immediately if they want to have any chance of getting something out of this game. 2 minutes left. Cobbler with a solid carry. Going to Quasimodo, who leaves the ball behind. And then it's a knock on from Glasgow. First knock on from Sharks. So it will be a Glasgow scrum with just under 2 minutes to go. Very, very frustrating. They look good. It was good to see them winning it off the kickoff, which is the first time they've done that. But not able, unfortunately, for them to capitalize on the advantage there. I know there's a couple of comments where we're talking about Stormers going to upset in Munster, reckons Mzansi Comic Club. I mean, I think the name says it all, doesn't it? We can't central plan. They probably left for the money and experience. Base salary plus private money at Munster. Smart Dunphy. Now we know why petrol stations are running driver there, having brides. They were all safer. Who did that with petrol? The Mighty Power stands like a pillar and no salary cap like here in Safferland. They do have a salary cap. All the leagues do have a salary cap to a certain degree. They're just much, much bigger. Well, that's a huge scrum from the Sharks, who have won a penalty. That's a very big moment. That's a big moment in the game. Big scrum there for Thomas Toy. They won a penalty. The Bells kicked us through the corner. And yeah, I said, if they want to get anything, you need to try and hit back here. You know, if they score another try, 14-28, you go down 2 tries down, you're still kind of in the game. Obviously, it's still a big upward battle. But you can still try and get something from the game. And the Sharks definitely... What? Are you going for the poles? Nah, man, this is childish. Surely we're not going for poles. They're going for poles. Chaps, you're 21 points down. 21 points down, chaps. Not 10, not 15. You're 21 points down and you're going for poles. No, I mean, come on, this is childish. KSVD says, I think we have a better chance in South Africa. Remember, it's also now rivalries. Archie had Damien in the last week before heading to SA. Stamen got 30-degree birds, required skin grass for the petrol. Yep. Pimpy and Corsi and Fassi will be active for the Sharks. Yeah, no, there'll be a nice addition there. Never played against News teams. Eric Power says, would the South African teams ever play in 4G pitches before? No, this is the first time ever that they're on 4G pitches and artificial surfaces and stuff like that. Right, well, there we go. Halftime whistle goes. And the halftime score is 28 points to 7. A very strange decision, I think, for that one to go to the 3-pointer. Yeah, I can't really understand that one, but each to their own, I suppose. KCD reckons it'll take 8 games to sort of learn how to adapt. Skin grass, big ash. My dad tried using methylated spirits into his eyebrows and beard. How do you think these EU teams will find games at altitude? Well, that's the whole thing. You know, it's home advantage can go 2 ways. But yeah, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom very quickly, and then we'll be back, and we're gonna have a guest in studio as well, who is currently inside the stadium, which is very cool. So I'll see you guys in just a bit. Right. We're back. Um, yeah, look, not a good first half. Showing from the Sharks, who are currently they did get the 3 points, so they are 28 points to 10 down. I don't understand taking the 3 point. I think that was a very strange decision. We are waiting to go across live to the stadium. We've got Carl Usher, who's currently there, one of our presenters. So he's going to be able to give us a bit of insight on what things are like in the stadium itself, which should be quite cool. But yeah, what teams will play at altitude in SA? In theory, well, let's go back to see the first ones. I think it's in round 5. Round 6 will be the first home games for the South African sides. In the first weekend, we're going to see Zebra down here. We're going to see Scarlets down here. We're going to see Munster down here. They're going to be playing against Bulls. Now, that should be a good game. Cardiff will be down here playing against the Lions as well. Weekend after that, Munster at Ellis Park. So they've got 2 games in a row at altitude. Bulls are taking on the Scarlets. Friday, 24th of December. Also, then we've got. See, it's all very difficult to sort of check exactly what's going on because there's so many flipping different rounds across different teams and stuff like that with different shields and stuff like that. So we'll confirm fiction stuff like that close to the time. But yeah, Munster will be here, which will be quite cool. And from the looks of it, we might be able to get fans back at the stadium, so we can even actually be there. No, man. Now, Nasper was talking about the fact that there was a bad call and we need to go and find them. I can't stand TMO referrals when they go back like 45 phases to try and find a flipping error and stuff like that. Just trying to see if Supersport's got the fixtures in order. Trying to work out if the line if the SA teams are playing December rugby. Doesn't really look like they are, you know. Looks like the last game for the SA sides are Lions on the 4th. Lions versus Munster on the 4th of December. Stormers are playing on the 4th of December as well. But the next time the SA teams will play will be the 7th of Jan, which is Lions away against Leicester. Of course, you have to go and flip Leicester away. I mean, really, people? I mean, respect us, please. Well, what are our final score predictions here, people? What do you reckon is going to happen in the second half? Can the Sharks pull it back? Maybe get a point on the board? Maybe get a bonus point? Or do you see it getting a little bit ugly? Fortunately, I think I see it getting a bit ugly. Probably more likely than the Sharks coming back and be able to salvage a point. But yeah. TMO, terrible monster. Ogre says Martin Lee. What was the logic in going for 3 points before half time? I actually don't know, to be honest. I think that's a very, very strange call. At the end of the day, 28 points down to 10, 28-7, 28-10 is much of a muchness for me. Whereas 28-14 is a bit of a different ball game. So I still can't understand why they did that. We will have the Springbok press conference up after this game, by the way, so keep your eyes up for that. Should be quite a cool one. So now when the Lions play home games, are you going to commentate from the stadiums? Probably not. It's just, it gets very difficult. The signal in there is terrible. What we probably will then do is like Lukanya or someone will do a watch along from the studio and we'll then cross over live to the game where hopefully I'll be at and stuff. That will be the plan. But yeah, it's just it's such bad signal in Ellis Park, so I don't know how well it's going to work. But we'll try. We're going to try to do something. Well, it's trial and error, isn't it? You know, some things might work, some things might not work. But our stadium's open now. Not yet, but Cyril pretty much said that they're in talks to sort of talk about trying to open them. And as soon as they are open, best believe I will be there. I will be there. Ronald says, completely off topic. When we were first on world rankings, we were told those rankings mean nothing. Then we lost our number one spot in the world, took the piss out of us. Well, we're back to number one. So keep taking the piss of us because guess what? We're back. We're back, baby. Wonder what the new narrative is going to be now. Well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So no more international rugby for another month. It's quite weird, isn't it? We've been doing international rugby pretty much non-stop since July. So yeah, but it should be a nice opportunity for us to get really into the URC and sort of understand the teams a bit better. Hopefully, I don't know when the Challenge Cup and Heineken Cup stuff starts. I think it's all next year, isn't it? No, it starts on the 10th of December. Well, the Sharks are back out. Carl's just straight him a signal. So unfortunately, we won't be able to cross to the stadium live. Maybe we'll try and do it at the end of the game. Maybe outside the stadium and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll do that later, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I hope the Bucks make a clean sweep up north and stay number one at the end of the year. Yeah, it'll be really cool, wouldn't it? Now we're going to watch us get destroyed for a month before international again. Be back going to have Biden a wee piece of my mind. Fair enough. Pundits now saying the world rankings are wrong because we haven't played up there, and they'll pump all three of us. Northern Hemisphere pundits. Yeah, well, they can try to say that. They also told us that we were going to. We had no chance against the Lions, so we all know how that went, didn't we? December followed by the inter-pro derbies over Christmas. Yeah, it should be quite cool. Obviously, be live for a lot of those. And a lot more Premier League football as well coming your way. Right, players back underway as Thompson goes deep. Well, not actually that deep, just in front of the 22. Early touch, I think, for Ruben van Hitten, which my stream is now paused and jittery. But, yeah, solid carry there from Croblo. He's got ball in hand. Ruben Pino going back to Buddha Chambers. Oh, it's Curran Bosch who pumps it downfield. He's got a very big boot as Curran Bosch. Goes down the throat of Thompson, who brings it inside to Jack Dempsey. Can't even watch URC New Zealand because Sky didn't get the rights, and I'm not spending another $20 for another subscription. Yeah, it's very frustrating. Ooh, but this game, the game tonight, I'll be if you want to use ExpressVPN, which is down the thing. Check out the video. It's being shown on what's the broadcaster? One of the Irish broadcasters. In the video that I did, it's being shown for free. So if you want to use ExpressVPN, you can actually jump on and watch it for free. In fact, this game, not this game, Bulls game last night. A couple of games are being shown on free-to-air broadcasters. So if you want to get a VPN, that could help you watch. I know a lot of people are doing that as well this weekend. But yeah, so it's a penalty against the Sharks, and the Glasgow have kicked to the corner. It's not a good start from the home side, or the away side, rather. I'm watching Steve doing live stream back when we play against British Irish Lions. Keep up your great work. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a journey. It's been a journey, and we're only beginning. Were you surprised how bad the Bulls was? I actually missed the game. I was watching the Lions game last night, so I need to go back and watch the Bulls highlights. But Lucanio said he wasn't very kind about them. He said they were played off the park. Right, go to the top side, win there. Horn giving it out to Thompson, who gives it to Johnson, who gives it away to Jack Dempsey. He's tackled by Murray Costa and Werner Koch. Ball out wide to Balotu. Now working their back towards the right. Big carrier there from the big tight head. That's McCullum. Now Thompson going to a bit of wraparounds. Really good work here. Staying through the center, staying towards the touchline. Managed to stay in. This is good continuity inside the 22 here from Glasgow. Thompson thinking about going right, decides to go himself. Brown gets up to 22. Oh, I think it was I don't know if it's the poor. Oh, jeepers, he's completely taken out. McClay's been taken out by Tupolata, but they've still got possession to Glasgow, just above the 22. Oh, they've kicked over the top. Oh, it's fallen badly, and Forbes is over for number 2. Well, that is the worst possible start for the Sharks. And this is why I said that those 3 points was just so stupid. There's just no point. I mean, yeah, cool. Well done. You got 3 points. Guess what? They fit back with 5 in the first 3 minutes. This could get very, very ugly for the Sharks. Ronald says, I'd like to see us slowly working our main starters out of on the Northern Tour. Not completely, but we do need to give some other guys a run and main our rest. I mean, as a rest, give guys like Khaleesi and Etzebeth. Well, I suppose, they're getting a bit of time off now. So they won't play rugby in a competitive game until the 7th of November, which is a decent month off. But I would like to see a bit of rotation. And I'm very upset we're not seeing a Barbarians game because that's usually the perfect time for a bit of rotation. Our Bulls playing the worst, even they're the top SS team. I mean, I can't comment on yesterday. I didn't watch yesterday, but they got flipped and taken apart by Leinster. Anyway, the Sharks are busy being pummeled. So that's what we're focusing on now. And discipline becoming a big issue for the Sharks. You can't be giving away such pointless penalty, allowing them back into the game, and they're just going to punish you every single time. As Thompson looks to add an extra 2. Straight down the middle, and Glasgow up to extend a 25-point lead in just the 44th minute. Pretty hectic, is it? Saracens have been bought out by a financial group for £32 million. Well, that is quite scandalous for a side which flouted salary caps and all those issues, stuff like that. But must say though, I think if I had to find a second side, if I had to find a non-South African side, Glasgow Warriors are getting my bill at the moment. I think that they could be who I go with. Decent take from the restart there from Dempsey, getting away from Werner Koch. Going to the Brutus George Sean, decent touch finder. About halfway between the 10-meter and the halfway line, right? So, I mean, the Sharks, it's not about pride, isn't it? You just can't get blown away by 2. But I mean, you start losing by flipping, 40, 50 points, and it gets really ugly. The Sharks lose 50-10, says KSVD plays. I mean, says Glasgow too good of a team. Imagine the Sharks against Exeter or someone. Well, maybe eventually when we get the Challenge Cup, we won't have to imagine that. Oh, that's a line out lost from the Sharks there from Krobler. So Glasgow win it back. Long pass out towards, I think it's Forbes. Tupolatu comes inside. Decent hit on him from Werner Koch. And a penalty to the Sharks for coming in from the side is the call. Apparently the group in question includes Francois Pienaar. That wouldn't surprise me. He's got quite a lot of his hands in around in a lot of different things. He's obviously a major stakeholder in varsity sports now in South Africa. So he is quite business savvy, is Francois Pienaar. Got quite a lot around there. The bounce of the ball was so lucky there. Why ST struggling at the moment in URC? It's new conditions, it's weekend teams, new conditions, and there's a range of factors. I also think our coaching staff down in South Africa are not particularly good, apart from the Bulls. Stamina says Exeter are around the same level as Munster. I guess Exeter Racing or Toulouse. Canucoo's advocating for Munster support there. They give too much ball away. Stormers, I feel ready for them, but it's not going to go well tonight, I don't think. Any chance Stormers Alliance can get billionaire backing like the Sharks and Bulls? Please. We talked about this in the last stream. I need some shake from Dubai to just come in and drop millions into the union. Millions and millions. Anyway, so it's a penalty to the Sharks, who are going for the 3 points. What is the point? I just don't understand this thinking, and he's missed it anyway. You're losing by 25 points. Why are you going for the 3? This is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. There's no way Pepsi Buthelezi is making that call. Not a chance. I mean, they were 21 points down before half time. That's an accidental offside there. I mean, obstruction. It's just not going well for the Sharks, is it? Pepsi Buthelezi running into Quesimona there. I just don't understand. They were 21 points behind. Decides to take the 3. Glasgow come back and score 7 points, so they get even further ahead, and they decide to take another 3. I don't understand. I mean, I know I did mass lit, but it's not really adding up now, is it? Yeah, anyway, 25 points going for 3, or literally. What are the operating budgets of the SA teams? Well, our salary cap is 60 million rand. The Sharks will lose 50-10. Yeah, we heard you the first time, chap. We'll see if you're right towards the end there. Sharks need proper coach. Yeah, I must admit, I don't really rate Sean Everett. Right, scrum here for Glasgow after accidental obstruction from Pepsi Buthelezi. And they go to Horn. He wraps around. Thompson wrapping around there. Inside. He's still going as Horn. He's going himself. Inside ball. Tupolatu. Oh, my living. Well, get out. Maybe you need to go for more 3-pointers because Tupolatu is just ran. That's a fantastic try. As I said, Glasgow sold me. They've sold me. I'm now Glasgow Warriors, my second team. I think I'm going to have to get myself a jersey. And, I mean, it's brilliant here from Horn. Wraps around. Boom. Gets outside Werner Koch. All the pace. Sails the dummy. Inside ball to Tupolatu. Murray Costa can't scramble. And he strolls over without even... I mean, the Sharks player didn't even come close to touching the Glasgow Warriors there. It's such good pace here from Horn. And then the inside ball... perfectly timed. Tupolatu's running on the angle. Murray Costa's flat-footed. Can't get across there. This is getting very, very ugly. Game over. Question even, did the Scarlets dominate the game versus just the scoreline? I would say they dominated the scoreline. I must admit, you watched the game and they scored a lot of points towards the end. We were in the game for a large amount of it. Our set pieces were very good. We scrummed very well. Our maul was pretty solid. We physically were battering them as well. We just couldn't take our opportunities. So they outplayed us in terms. They were so much more clinical. And then there was a yellow card, and that was the end of it. After that, they started running in for free. But I'd say for about 60 minutes, the Lions were in and around. They just couldn't convert their chances. They were parked on the try line multiple times and just couldn't get themselves over. It looks good defense by Scarlets, must be said. But if we had a more clinical side, would have been in that game last night. Which is why I'm not overly upset, because I think the Lions had some decent moments and I saw some improvement, which is always good to see. So we are having a look at this. This actually could be ruled out. I don't know what for. Make it 16-0. No, you can't come and change your scoreline. You made it 50-10. Stick by your convictions. Apparently, it's very hard playing up in Scotland. So we're looking for potential obstruction. Oh, let's say that Tupolatu took out Dylan Richardson. Well, this could be a get out of jail free here for Sharks, because it looks like Tupolatu did take out Dylan Richardson. So Thompson is fine. It's a perfect little timing there. And then Tupolatu runs the dummy line. Yeah, I mean, look, not having Dylan Richardson there is a big. I mean, that's your flank. So that's definitely creating the big offload there. 60 million rand, looking at currency conversion, that's like half a bunch of Irish URC teams. Well, that's why we say we need to increase it, because we just can't match anyone. Gian Noran says, literally, we'll take 3 and give you 7. These losses are embarrassing for SA. S teams are getting bodied up in the Northern Hemisphere. Good night, Sharks. Thanks for visiting. Literally, Glasgow finished 6th last season. French teams operate on budgets over 20 million euros now. I mean, it's childish. The top 14 is childish. Yeah, they are going to rule it out. It's going to be ruled out. Which I think is fair. I think People just got eyes on him, so he's not happy with the call. But look, I think that he was running towards and saw where Dylan Richardson was. So the Sharks have scored more than Bulls. Yeah, fair point. No, I think he does actually get taken out. I think it's the right call. I had to explain exactly that to a few idiotic Scarlets fans. They claim they dominated the whole game, but no, they didn't dominate the whole game. No, they're dreaming. As I said, they were very good in the last 20, but if they think they dominated the whole game, then obviously I watched a different game because they defended well, but they were under pressure for a lot of it. The lineups are very good. The Lions had some nice moments last night. We just couldn't convert our chances. Italian sides look better than us, sorry to say. Well, we beat Zebra, so come at me. Come at the Lions. It's about all we can celebrate at the moment. So get out jail free there for the Sharks. You've now kicked them. I mean, they got 25 points, chaps. You got to start running the ball here. Get rid of salary caps, and the Bulls and Sharks will be stacked with box. Yeah, I know we'll be childish if we do. Top 14 is the best league in Europe, most competitive and exciting teams by far. Oh yeah, I mean even Pro D2 is supposed to be very, very good to watch. I only watched a couple of games. Well, it's very messy, but Thomas Atoy seems to have ball in hand. I thought there was a knock on somewhere. Oh, time off here. We've got a head injury. Fraser Barter's not happy. I think even Pesci would later say nobody needs to come near him. He doesn't look happy here. It was a pretty poor line on Fraser Barter getting over there, and he goes straight down. TGR4 is an Irish language and RT has an English language in it. Yeah, and both. I think both of them are actually showing the game tonight. If anyone's looking for a stream, so if you're outside Ireland, just use ExpressVPN. You can jump on there. Maybe we're just 1 year behind. I think we are 1 year behind. I think it will get a lot better. We saw the Cheetahs being competitive, and to be honest, I know that there's been a rugby brain drain, but the Bulls squad of now is better than the Cheetah squad of a couple of years ago. Stavanger says, I've watched the Champions Cup final and top 14 final between La Rochelle and Toulouse, and they were actually very boring games. Yeah, but you never look at finals for quality rugby. Finals are always very boring. Generally are very boring. So, but yeah, most people that watch top 40 a lot say that it's really good rugby. I mean, I like to watch more. I do watch more with ExpressVPN and stuff like that. He's not happy as Pheasant Barter. I think that'll be the end of his game. He's going off for an HIA. Mark G. Lee says, I got VPN, but switching location tricky with my internet speed. Ugh, yeah, look. Technology, eh? It's a hell of a thing. All finals are usually boring. Yeah, I think they often are. I suppose because it's like test match rugby, isn't it? You don't want to give an inch. We are going to restart with a scrum to Glasgow. Albie says next year is the litmus test for the four South Africa teams. Yeah, as I say, let's just settle in. Let's get all our players back, and we'll go again from January, which is we had say in October. But we only have got 4 more matches, and then we've got a couple. It was the end of the year. So out of the how many games do we play? 16, 15. We play all the teams once. I don't know. We play like 15, 16 games. So we're not even going to have half of it this year. We do a reset scrum. Decent scrum. Kevin Furin obviously on the park now, ahead of in for Pheasant Barter. Like Lads are looking to try and run for the N22 and call forwards to find a bit of space out wide. That is a superb tackle from Murray Costa. As he's about to get the offload, Murray Costa comes and diving from behind, just lodging the ball in the tackle for a knock on. That's a very, very good tackle from the youngster. Yeah, really good stuff from Murray Costa there. Looks, it might be a little bit more difficult to run around the Sharks. OG backline really missing the box. I mean, the Sharks backline becomes childish very soon. You can have Grant Williams at scrum half. I mean, not that we're on Pino, but I'm saying you can have Grant Williams at scrum half. Probably maybe Curran Bosch back at flower half. Your two wings will be Mapimpi and Nkosi. Fassi at fullback. Lacanya I'm at outside centre. Morris Lowe or somebody at inside centre. You're going to have the likes of Werner Koch or Yao Penkle on off the bench. So some really, really good players coming back there. Sean Fell, I think it's the same with most of the sides. Like they don't have a second plan. They have not learned things from the first really round. I just think that they need to deal with weather, etc. See the Stormers game. Yeah, you'll be live for the Stormers game. It will be me as well. Right, solid scrum there. Buddha Chamberlain. Oh, that's a very nice gap being run there by Jamie Waters onto the park in place of, I do not know who. It looks like Werner Koch. Now kicking behind, chasing hard. It's not a bad result. Pinning the Glasgow back a bit. What's the situation with SA still being on UK COVID red list? We have some home games or nope. Yeah, well, look, I mean, Cyril apparently was on the call with Boris and basically telling him off for us still being on the red list. So that is apparently being re-looked at. So hopefully it will be removed. And if it is removed, then we should have no issue. And you just make it compulsory, and all your flipping players must get vaccinated, so we don't have to worry about that shit. And then because then hopefully we can, like Leinster can just fly in for the week or 2 weeks, and we don't have to worry about quarantine and stuff like that. So hopefully, in theory, we will have home games at this stage. It all just depends on what's going on at the time. So line on win there. I think it's Cummings who went up and got that. Now in the midfield, it's a very nice line being run there by I think it's Jack. No, it's just Johnson with a very good line there. Pepsi Buthelezi does get the ball away though. Gets to Jack Thompson. Ross Thompson, rather, and it's a very, very good. Is that a 50-22? It is a 50-22, No, it's not. It didn't run in time, so it will be a Shark. So he's actually been very good today as Ross Thompson. First time I've actually watched him. Been pretty impressed. I've said if all 4 unions got coaches from Europe, it might have been different. Look, I think Jake White will be fine. But I think the other 3 are things need to change. That last tackle France Day made on that player, a very interesting, tough call by the ref. Yeah, I want you to have a relook at it. And I think the more I look at it, the more I think that he does win the ball in the air. Right, Kieran from Fearens, first line-out of the day, going towards the front, towards Grant Krobler. It's paused on him, so I'm just assuming that he's won it. They have won it. Looks like Hiron Andrews on the park as well, trying to keep up. About to say, Richardson is lying on the ground. You have to release him. Back to Buddha Chamberlain. Doesn't have safety the 22, so he can't find touch. Boots down the middle of the park. Now McLean trying to get up to a running start there. Richardson makes the tackle though. Up to the 10-meter of Glasgow. All the players eventually dropping back. Pepsi Buthelezi come off the line. It's a nice tackle on him, trying to pin them back. Hiron Andrews now following up. Pepsi Buthelezi hasn't even got up and he just makes another tackle. Now Turner. Off the bench there, George Turner. And it's a knock on there. So it'll be a Sharks scrum. Look, credit to the Sharks. They played a lot better in the last sort of 10 minutes. But it is still obviously early days in this half. It'll be harder for the European teams in SA for sure, but for each European team, their tour length will only be 2 games, which is easier for them. Yeah, but it is obviously a lot easier. And obviously next year, we probably also won't be going on 4-week tours. I don't think is the plan. But I'm keen to sort of see, it will be a whole sort of different ball game. You come playing now. I mean, what's the flipping temperature in Glasgow right now? So you're playing in Glasgow with 11 degrees, lots of rain. And you compare that. I mean, what's in Durban right now? If this was the other way around, if it's a away game. Look, it is a bit of a rainy weekend, but it'll be 90 degrees. Usually, humidity 82%. So it's a whole different sort of ball game down here when they do have to travel. So that should make things a little bit more of a bit of a leveler. Box 9 France. I think they're going to come back here first before they go into France. I think they go to France in about 2 weeks. Francois Pino, I wondered what he was up to these days. He's still involved in the rugby scene. Yeah, so varsity sports, very big in there as Ruan Pino feeds the scrum. Now Pino going out to Buddha Chamberlain, who goes himself, gets into the 22, pops the ball up to Ruan Pino, so that's nice continuity. Swings the ball back to Ruben van Heerden, who's tried hard today. Quick ball for Ruben Pienaar. Well, Temalani Borley, that's one of the biggest hits I've ever seen on him. He usually gets very good go forward ball. Buddha Chamberlain, that's a bit of a chip over the top. Yeah, Penkler. Ooh, does he keep it inside? Doesn't. Bit of enterprise, but there was a penalty, I think. A penalty advantage, so they'll go back for the penalty. That's much better from the Sharks, though. Possibility of fourth wave looming in December, they say. I'm doubting. Yeah, I mean, they always seem to be late with the fourth waves. We were supposed to have our third wave in like May, and we got it in July. And so, yeah, I don't. Look, Cyril wants to get us all vaccinated by December, so he wants to do 16 million people in the next 2 months, which I think will be possible if people go. Busy sitting in a hotel queue now. This channel is Lifesaver. Well, welcome. 2 weeks off box, then they go to France for 14 days, then to the UK. Yeah, that's what I thought was the plan. Right, so the Sharks got a penalty and they kicked it to the corner. So Kieran Van Furen will need to find a line-out jumper here, and then they need to find a try. Spies didn't go for the 3 points. It's a good more here so far from the Sharks, but it's also the ball's available at the bottom there. It has kind of crumbled down. Ruben Pienaar waiting, directing a bit of traffic. Dylan Richardson goes on the carry there. He's still going, Dylan Richardson. It's a very good carry from him. Now Pienaar goes to, that's the placement. It's Tukum Kuna is a very good ball carrier. Has he got an advantage as well? Pienaar to Thomas the Toy. Totoy's over, and he's got grounding. The Sharks hit back. Very nice. That's the big man, Thomas the Tank. We're not playing against France. No, we're not playing against France, but we're quarantining in France. So we're going to France for 14 days. We're going to promote the 2023 World Cup, and then we're going over to the UK because we're on the red list, which in theory we might actually not be by the time we get there. Yep, Kevin Bosch as the extras. 35 points to 17. I mean, not really game on, but as Kevin says, playing for pride, and there's still a lot of pride in the line. That's what I said last night, as for the Lions, just show me something. Give me a reason to be excited. I said that before the box as well. I mean obviously the win was huge. But if you're going to lose, show us something. Show us you're trying something. Show us that you're building something. Give us something to get excited about. Right, Thompson, the restart goes towards the left. It'll go straight down the throat of Pepsi Buthelezi, who's tried very hard today, the Sharks captain. Another solid carry from him. He always has a lot of carries, always has a lot of tackles. A very hard-working player. Ruben Pienaar goes back to put a Chamberlain. He can't go into touch because he doesn't have the safety of the 22. Oh, they allowed it to bounce, and it bounced inside. Taking it back in, so, it's Dempsey, so it's not exactly going to go to the boot, is he? But Thomas Toy gets up there, makes the tackle, pop off, though, to McLean, his Forbes is wrapped up. Now Horn goes to the left. Thomas Gordon carrying it up. Box kick there for Horn. With a Chamberlain underneath it, goes inside to Curran Bosch. Curran Bosch looking for options, and they knock it backwards though, so still uses it. So Bosch goes to Jeremy Ward, who goes stuck at Abrahams, who steps inside. Not very big as stuck at Abrahams, very elusive. Now, Buddha Chamberlain going for that 50-22. Will it bounce inside? It will, Is that a 50-22? Were they inside the half? No, they were inside the half, unfortunately. Yeah, so they were, unfortunately, they just got inside, so it won't be a Sharks put into that. Buddha Chamberlain was not happy. He thought he had nailed the 50-22. Oh, it is. Oh, that's big. I thought Abraham had fallen inside. So it will be a 50-22. Kieran Van Furen now feeding the line out, goes to the front to Hiron Andrews. Very good line out operator. Initial more does go back quite a bit, but now sort of waiting for a bit of momentum. Kieran Van Furen controlling things at the back. Ruben Pienaar now looking to use it. Got hands on the ball. But they're going forward. He does use it, and he goes to Jeremy Ward, who puts his head down. Oh, sorry, it's Murray Costa. Now Dylan Richardson, brought down by Ryan Wilson. Now Ruben van Heerden almost gets away from his defender. Sharks right on the right foot there. Oh, Dylan Richardson almost burst through. It's just short that he'd be able to recycle this. It's Tukum Kuno has got Kevin Van Fury next to him. He wants to go pick up and go. Ooh, Peanut chips over the top. If they win this, to be a try, but as a short-term free kick to Glasgow. I mean, Peanut, why are you kicking this? Why? I mean, it's a 4-man overlap, basically. This is a really weird decision from Peanut to chip. I mean, they had all the players. It's just a 4-on-2 situation. He chips over the top. Basically, Butler's not happy with the referee, having a bit of a chat. Well, it's much better from the Sharks. I think Ruan Pino has stuffed that up. I think if they continue that, I think they're scoring a try. And you're scoring a try suddenly into 22 points, hit the conversion 24, 35-24. Obviously, still a very big deficit to try and climb. It's 9 points. But, no, it's more than that. It's 11 points. But play for pride, you know, and try and score some points and leave it all out on the pitch, you know, and all those wonderful things. Fourth wave, please know the politicians in the UK will get more bonkers to the rules when they are ready. 14 days quarantine in France for the box. The images are local Premier clubs play in the English Premier League clubs. Chiefs versus Liverpool. Hey, that would be horrible. Imagine. It's just spank would be the case. It's short-term free kick here. Well, free kick or short-term penalty. Couple of changes here. McCullum has departed, so very few Walkers on the pitch. And yeah, so they'll probably just tap this and launch this into. And Murphy, that is a phenomenal kick here. Cheap as me. Or they found touch on the halfway line. So that's how you pin a team back. But George Horn also off the park, so Jamie Dobie will be on. And yeah, it's a debut for Glasgow for Murphy Walker. I need to remember this because if Glasgow are going to be my team, I need to learn my team. Right, Sharks on the halfway line. They go to Hiron Andrews. It's messy, but they turn it back to Ruan Pienaar, who gets it well to Al Penclay, who will put his head down. Slow ball here for Ruan Pienaar. Van Heerden up against Ryan Wilson. Now Kieran van Vuren carrying up. That's a solid carry from him. He's almost up to the halfway line. Ruan Pienaar going to the blind side. Puts Chamberlain to Murray Costa. Ruan Pienaar back to the middle. That's into Tukum Kuno, the big prop. But he's driven backwards there. So hit there. The Sharks going backwards. So Buddha Chamberlain decides to go to the boot. That's just ahead of the 22. Forbes returns the favour. Goes down the throat of Buddha Chamberlain. Now Curran Bosch. Bosch shipping towards the left, trying to turn them. Oh, if it bounced awkwardly, it could have been a bit awkward for Stain. Gives himself a decent angle. Oh, but he scooted off the side of his boot, I think. So the bit of a kicking battle, and I think the Sharks have won it because they've got a line out just ahead of the 22. So it's a nice little pasture play. And Sharks have been so much better this half, by the way. Last sort of 10, 15 minutes, they've had all the possession. Still can't quite find a try. But looking a lot better with ball in hand. Looking like they're getting a decent sort of go-forward ball. They go short from the line out there. And then to Kemalani Bolly, who makes a big hit. Oh, it's a big hit on him on George Turner. It's thrown on the ground illegally so from Glasgow. So it's a penalty for the Sharks. Yeah, because the 3-pointer, they can get back within 15 points if they do this, you know. Surely we go for the 3 here. I mean, really, if they do, I'll lose it. That's what I'm saying. The momentum has definitely changed. And unfortunately, I think if the Sharks weren't chasing such a big lead, they actually could be in this game. Oh, Kerwin Bosch. Kerwin Bosch has kicked this dead. I mean, literally bounced in the dead. I mean, come on, mate. How can you, after all this, getting momentum, you win a penalty, and you kick it dead? That is horrible from Kerwin Bosch. Actually, it's actually unforgivable. I mean, Pheasant Barter, apparently was busy chasing it, and he just looks back. I mean, Kerwin Bosch, that's a horrendous error to make. You cannot be doing that. We don't talk about Manchester United. It's been a bad day for us. It's been a bad week for us. We don't need to talk about that here. There's no need for that. Let's stick to rugby or about football another time. Yeah, very frustrating times. Just because it's felt like a long game. You still had 15 minutes. It actually hasn't been. Yeah, it has been. Yeah, a couple of stoppages. Please smash like on the video, by the way. We've got 31 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 50 maybe before the end of the game. The bulk traveling caravan is 60 people. Hotel quarantine will be 2.7 million rand. Don't know how many usually travel with international squads. It's an interesting concept, isn't it? I don't know how many people will go, actually. I mean, staff-wise, we've got about 6 or 7 coaching staff. The management team is usually about 10 to 15 people, I'd imagine. We're going to restart with the scrum. It will be a Glasgow put in after Kern Bosch kicked it dead. I mean, it's a silly, silly mistake. It's a horrendous mistake to make. You can't be doing such. Decent scrum there from Sharksburg is available, so Dobie uses it and chip over the top. I think it's from Thompson, which goes well into touch. That's a horrible, horrible kick. So that's an error there, giving the Sharks another opportunity to get back into Glasgow Warriors territory. To be honest, actually, silly boring game from the Sharks. They're just not played. They're not pitched up for the last part of the game. They pitched up in the last 10 minutes, but you can't pitch up for 15 minutes after you've been absent for 40. And that first half was just a killer for them. I think Keith Earls at centre is interesting. Yeah, first time I think in 2018 I read that he's been playing centre. I read Keith Earls. Keen to see how he goes at centre later. And we will be live tomorrow for Dragons versus Leinster. Lacanya will be taking you through that game. Ball to the top there to Ruben van Heerden. James Fenton is on in place of Pepsi Buthelezi. Another decent innings from the Sharks captain. No. Bit of a variation there from the back. Oh, a penalty for sealing off there. Going off his feet is Temelani Boli. Discipline, eh? Discipline. The Sharks, every single time they've had an opportunity, the discipline's letting them down. And Temelani Boli, not supporting his body weight, or easy decision for the referee to make. Not been a good day. Hi, mates. Sharks are poor. You normally play full on wing or full back. Yep, lots of pace there with Keith. I'm always interested to see how a wing does go at outside centre. Wonderful win for us against the All Blacks, though. Yeah, no, massive. Huge indeed, in fact. So the Sharks all the way back inside their own half now on the 10-meter line. They've got 30 minutes to try and make the scoreline look a bit more respectable. Or even to keep it like this, I suppose. Oh, well, an error there to the top, and Sharks have won the ball here. Dylan Richardson with a very solid carry past the halfway line. Some nice handling there from Thomas Totoy. Buddha Chambers left the ball behind. Tukum Kuno is cleaning up. I mean, how many more mistakes do you want to make, Sharks? I mean, really, unforced errors are tremendously high. Now, Buddha Chamberlain once again going to Murray Costa. A lot of space down the right there, so Murray Costa decides to just go himself. It's a decent leg drive, gets him past the halfway line. Ruan Pino cuts inside to him from Hayden. Throws a dummy and then puts his head down, and he's carried over the halfway line by Timberlani Boli. Ruan Pino goes to Buddha Chamberlain. He goes behind him to Bosch. Goes to Jeremy Ward. He brings to James Fenter. James Fenter down the blind side. Well, down the side. Yeah, it wasn't really blind side. Inside ball to Thomas the Toy. Takes contact. Sharks up until past the 10-meter line. Good continuity here from Pino. Thaka Abrams. Oh, that's a lovely little step. He just needs to keep going. Thaka Abrams. Almost up to the 22. He's so elusive, is that? Kieran van Furen at scrum off. Dylan Richardson once again. And he's lost it in the tackle. You know, why is it every single time they look good, they didn't have a moment like that? Right now, the counter-attack's on. The counter-attack's not on. It's gone out. I think charge down was the kick there. As I said, the Sharks have had stages where they've looked really good. That was a very positive passage play. A nice little piece of footwork by Thaka Abrams to win some territory. And then decent carry from Richardson and then just losing the ball in the tackle. Most you see Escalade on a learning curve will improve. Jan says, I actually predicted the Box to win by 2 points today. Well done. I understand they're training the whole week specifically for Saturday. Couldn't kickball dead. I mean, really, I know it's just so pointless. Your reaction after we got that penalty against the All Blacks at the end of the game, spot on. Yeah, look, I mean, we live in the moment, don't we? All right, 68 minutes and 50 seconds is where we do lie. It's been a long day at the office for the Sharks, and they'll learn a lot from this, but you can't just keep saying that week in, week out, can you? You can't just sit there saying, we'll learn from this, we'll learn from this, we'll learn from this. We need to see what you're learning from it, and we need to see it in action.
They try and overcomplicate things, and they're always playing the going through phases which aren't there, going through balls which aren't there. And actually, the most dangerous play a really abrasive style of rugby and bring their accurate game into it. We know that there's a lot of talent. And Sean Everett has said, without 5 or 6 of the top Springboks,
Right, we will restart with a line out. It will be at Glasgow Putin, just outside the 22. Sharks should do set piece play in the back line. Yeah, the back line hasn't been great. Do you think the home games will be better? I do think the home games will be substantially better. I think it's always tough to come and play in South Africa. So I do think it will be a very different ball game. It's a very decent looking more here for Glasgow. It's breaking apart. And I think they've got a penalty advantage here. Still advantage there. Oh, that's a nice defensive read from Jeremy Ward, but it is a penalty. So go back for the penalty for collapsing the maul. There's a very nice maul there from Glasgow. So it's 17 changes by inside entry. That's against Intutuko Nkunu. Let me get my clock back on. I like the lady Bok physio. She's very happy. Yeah, she's very enthusiastic, isn't she? Bit of a controversy where she was on the field and during the British Irish Lions there, shouting encouragement to the team, which I think is making a big deal out of nothing, to be honest. But hey, that is the world we live in, isn't it? A couple of changes here. Ryan Wilson off for Ali Miller. And looks like Lewis Bean on for Richie Gray. Time on there. It's been a long day. Oh, it's a messy line. The Sharks win it back. Kieran van Furen goes himself. Solid carry, gets up to the 10-meter. Almost crawling there was Kieran van Furen. Ruben van Heerden now puts his head down. Big hit on him. Now, Tian Meyer at scrum half. So it looks like Ruben Peanut's operating fly half at the moment. Puts in a big up and under. which Murray Costa competes for, and Kuno comes away with it. So the Sharks on the attacking front inside the Glasgow half. Richardson shows and goes. Tian Merck to Ron Pino, who is operating a fly half. There's a bit of an overlap, but Butcher Chamberlain still on the park. Costa going to Fenter. Oh, that ball had to go to hand. Time off. I think they might be looking at deliberate knockdown here, you know. This is interesting. So Butcher Chamberlain's still on the park. So is Tian Merck, so is Ron Pino. So it looks like Butcher Chamberlain's operating at full back. Well, they're going to check. I reckon it's a deliberate knockdown, which could be a card, in fact. We haven't seen it. Oh, yeah, actually, have. We've seen the Richardson. Devin just says, well, no matter how the rest of the season goes for the SC teams in the URC, we'll have one team in the Champions Cup next season. Yeah, which is going to be really cool. The Sharks don't know how to get the position out of numbers. The South continues to ball in, and Jake White said they didn't want to kick so much against Connacht, or whatever the Bulls wanted to do last night. They didn't do very well. So looking for a deliberate knockdown, which I think would be a bit harsh. I think he's going for the tackle. We need to look where his eyes are. He needs to look if he's looking at the ball. But as I said, it should be a penalty because it's offside, actually, if it does come off the Glasgow Warriors player. So I think the Sharks could be coming away with the penalty. We'll love to see Lanconnier back for the Sharks. We always look good when he's playing. Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't make that move permanent. Yeah, I think it will be a penalty. Imagine the look on 2 cents and he realized face after all backs lost. Apparently he was very confident. Sharks a bad team from this year. Finally, conference reports later for Springboks. Yeah, so that'll be up. So literally, as soon as I finish doing that, I'm going to get that up. So Springbok conference should be up in the next half an hour. Sensational Leicester Tigers pull off a last-minute victory versus Saris. That's a cool result. I need to watch more Premiership. Where am I supposed to find the time, though? I mean, it's so flippin' difficult to find the time to watch all these games. I keep saying I need to watch more Premiership. I keep saying I need to watch more Top 14. I could barely watch all the URC. Thankfully, there's no... even the Rugby Championship is easy to watch at the moment because there's just 2 games in the morning. So now it becomes a lot more interesting. Carlo Rensburg says Stormers 23, Munster 16. Yo, that's a huge call. That's a huge call. Right, so it's going to be a scrum for the knock-on. So no penalty there, which is a bit odd. I thought there was going to be a penalty, but Right, TMA feeding the scrum there. Sharks looking pretty solid. He will have to use it. TMA goes himself, brings in Murray Costa, who's worked quite hard today. Oh, and that's another knock there from TMA over the Glasgow Warriors, who've actually, well, the best time they managed to hold on. And Sharks winning a penalty for holding on, so it's a decent result for them. They'll be able to kick to the corner and go for a try. Thomas Latoy, he is captain at the moment. Now, Pacey Boutelez is off. Set to Pino, just go and kick me in the corner there. Wallaby scored great set piece tries with a wonderful running lines this morning. 2 sets, that's a cool analysis of games. Yeah, he's good. So Sharks find themselves on the 5-meter line with 8 minutes to go. Try and save a bit of face. Try and get themselves into the 20s maybe and try and make it look like a bit more respectable scoreline. Hernandez goes up at the front of the lineup. They're going to try rolling more here. Kieran from Fury controlling things at the back, but he's already got somebody on him who I think has come through the middle. Yeah, penalty advantage. He's legally grabbed onto him. Has Lewis Bean. Yeah, yellow card. It's been coming. They've been making quite a lot of infringements lately. And also, I mean, Glasgow get reduced down to 14 men for the final few minutes. So we're going to move that yellow card to over there. So Glasgow down to 14 for the remainder of the game. A bit of an opportunity here for the Sharks to try and, just get some pride back, really. I personally think Munster will want to make 2-0 versus SATs. I personally think that they will make it 2-0. Squiz does brilliant as for the games. Yeah, I know, best in the business. He is. The Sharks lack rhythm, says Kotlem in Corsi. Yeah, so the Sharks are going to take the scrum, which is a smart decision, with the lock being sent off. And the Sharks scrum's been very solid, so they're operating with no 8th man. Look, if you can get enough advantage, you can try and get a penalty try here. Actually, if they do manage to get quite a big hit on. 7-8's got straight down. It's advantage for the Sharks. Tian Meyer goes to Murray Costa. Murray Costa puts his head down once again. He's right within the distance. Tian Meyer goes to Timalani Bully. Well, that's a big tackle on him. And over. Good continuity. Couple of pick up and goes. Since Tukum Kun was the man that raised the ball. He enjoyed that. And off he is. He's off. Right, well, there we go. 35-22. 6 minutes to go. Comeback's not really on. But I suppose you can get within 7 if you score another try. You can get away with a point. It'll be a valuable point. That was a massive tackle on Temalani Bully. I'm not entirely sure how illegal it was, actually. I think it's Jamie Batty, but it looked a little bit...
It was convincing and also correct, and it was incredibly convincing and accurate. I think I've really seen a nice attention to situation from the Sharks.
Yep, straight in the middle from Ruan Pino. So 35 points to 24. With 6 minutes to play, Glasgow down to 14 men. Can the Sharks score another try and get themselves within 7 points? Lawrence R. Jones is on the park in place of Thomas Latoy. So I wonder who the captain is at the moment. Because Thomas Latoy is the vice captain. Percy Buthelezi is the captain. Buthelezi for the box. I could back that shot. They scored 3 tries of the Sharks, actually. So one more try gets them 2 points. So there's still a lot to play for here for the Sharks. Johan says Sharks are the most inconsistent team. I know, Brendan, they'll get 2 points if they score in short. Yeah, I just realized that as well. The All Blacks could make a comeback from 35-24. Sharks to win by 1. It's a big call. Well, they go very, very deep to Glasgow. And Buddha Chamberlain will return the favor. If he's smart, I think he keeps this in. He does keep it in. So looking to keep the ball in hand is Forbes. But Temalani Bully wraps him up with Lawrence Arjon, I think, driving him back. So Glasgow Warriors do have possession on the halfway line. That's an advantage for not rolling. Temalani Bully is stuck underneath a very, very large Brad Thayer. So he was never going to be able to move. And that's the last thing that they needed. With 4 minutes to go, they really need to get their hands back on the ball and try and get themselves back into Glasgow territory. Leon Neckers 35-36. Well, I mean, it's never say never. But the fact that Glasgow have just won their penalty and kicked a corner, the Sharks will have to run the length of the field and still be able to have a tie for kickoff. Time currently off. A bit of treatment here. Can we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. It's not been a bad game, though, actually. I mean, 35 points, 24, plenty of tries in it. Sharks, I think, in the second half, been very, very good. But unfortunately, just far too much to do from that really, really poor first half performance. So, yeah, they could have fixed that. It could have been a decent game. But I think the Sharks will take a lot more confidence out of the performance, especially if they can try score another try or do something here. Right, about to announce the man of the match here.
Had a strong game, but I think last week he was superb, and today I think everything that was good about Glasgow attack is some great lines and people that everything good. So the UFC player of the match is Sam Johnson.
Sam Johnson being given the URC player of the match, the number 12. I thought Ross Thompson's in a bit of a shout. I thought he's been pretty good. I thought George Horn was very good as well before he went off. The Glasgow backline's been very impressive. Marshall needs to have a Shark shirt, but it's in a box in storage while my house is being fixed, and I may just keep it in that box. Dear. Right, well, they're taking the time, y'all, Glasgow. Can we get this going here, people? Well, Ross Thompson leaves the park. Very, very impressive performance from him. I thought it was very, very good. It's the first time I've seen him today, and I enjoyed it. I liked what I saw. Right, eventually, Glasgow seem ready to come and have the line out. Right, this is probably going to go to Dak Dempsey. No, in fact, they'll play. Oh, they've disrupted the line there, the Sharks, but it's eventually fallen to George Turner. You get smashed by Lawrence Johnson in a South African scrum cap. But Sharks need to turn the ball over. Yeah, one more try. If they can score a try, there's 2 points in the line for them if they can score a try. But even if they concede and then go score a try, there's another. They're offloading. Oh, what a tackle! I think it could be a high tackle. No, it's not a high tackle. What a tackle from Yao Penkler. He looked all money away. But they're still on the front foot here. Glasgow. Murray Walker taking it in. Oh, and they've knocked it forward. Well, turnover ball. And then another knock on there. Oh, what? Well, here we go. They've got 90 meters to go in 3 minutes to do the Sharks. This was really, really good. Inside ball there. And a little offload game as well. And really good from Yao Penkler to reel in Carl Foles. I thought he was away. And then just forcing a knock on. So it will be a scrum to the Sharks. Can the Bulls do better? I suppose we'll have to wait and see, but probably. The Glasgow Warriors has got no worries. Ross Thompson is one of the few decent young players to come in and steady the ship at Glasgow halfway through last season. Yeah, I've been very impressed. I think 22 years old. Looked like a very nice player. I'm very keen to sort of see how he develops. And Tuka Mkuna down receiving some treatment. So we start with a scrum on the 5. It will be a Sharks put-in, but they've got a long way to go if they want to try and score a try here. Do.
Fantastic story there. We look at the coaches and the management. You have these characters that go through the teams. When the Beast started at the Sharks, I was still playing. Had a season there, and he almost put a restaurant out of business that did a Monday night. Eat as much as you like, and as long as you eat, I think a kilo of steak, 2 portions of chips, and a 2 liter of Coke, you can have it for free. No one else can finish it, but Beast just popped around there every Monday night and finished it all.
So time is, I think, about to be back on. Do you think we should get a New Zealand coach for Springboks backline? Not necessarily. I wouldn't say no to them, but isn't Thompson South African? No, that's Brandon Thompson. This is Ross Thompson. But Brandon Thompson did play for Glasgow, if I'm not mistaken. So, but he's back at Free State Cheetahs. Weird, though, that one Thompson replaced another. Right, big scrum you needed from the Sharks. Well, there it comes. It will surely be a penalty. And it is a penalty. Well, perfect result from them. Ruan Pino will be able to kick themselves to further down the park. Massive scrum there from the Sharks. The scrum's been pretty solid all day. In fact, I don't know about the Bulls scrum last night, but the Lions scrum was very dominant. The Sharks scrum's been pretty solid. So, I think that we will sort of see avenues where the SA teams can look to exploit. And the scrums will probably be one. That's a very nice kick from Ruan Pino. That's a fun touch inside Glasgow's half. So 1.5 minutes to go. Sharks got an opportunity to try and snatch a bonus point, 2 bonus points if they can get a try.
That certainly hasn't been why, because it's only been in the last couple of minutes it's happened, but it's still more communication with the players around it. 80 minutes would have helped. It's just slimming it. That's right. I think everything was with hard, Starwood, it was a bit bad, but really
and they butchered the line out. Kieran for Fear, that's a horrible line out. And Glasgow turned the ball over. Jamie Ward trying to put pressure on them, but they've found a bit of space. They've thrown the ball out towards Stain, who goes inside, and it was dragging to touch, so it will be a Sharks line on the other side. So Kieran for Fearing gets to have another opportunity. Lawrence Johnson, I'm not quite sure what he's having a chat about. Jamie Ward, I don't know if they can have a look at this. It's a pretty big hit. It's a big clash on Pete Horn there from Jamie Ward. I'm not sure they're going to check it. I don't think they are. I don't think it's anything wrong with it. But the TMOs get involved. You're particularly low yet at Jeremy Ward, though.
The problem is it's a lottery these days. I don't think that's intentional to hurt. He's certainly not gone in with shoulder to head, anything like that. But the contact is in the shoulder area. So if you're looking for trouble, you can make. What they're going to be looking for here. So where Jeremy Ward shoulder or arm made contact with something, that will see it through here, I think.
Yeah, rugby collision. I love that term. I love that term. We need to hear more of it. Rugby collision. I love that. Yeah, no, Android, there's nothing much in that. Look, I mean, old Horn is also taking it quite high and then comes down. So, yeah, there's a lot of factors in there. So, I really enjoy that when you sit there hearing rugby collision move on. We need to see more of that. Sharks, please don't bite the Glasgow Warriors. You'll find they really taste horrible. How does the Champions Cup pools work? 2 groups of 12, each play 6 groups. Cheapest. I haven't checked out I think it's about right. There's 24 teams. So I'm trying to remember how I haven't checked it for a while. I know there's a group stages, so I think you're about right, to be honest. And I know it goes to a last 16 with a couple of people then going into the Challenge Cup, and then 16 down to 8, down to 4, down to semis, down to final. Well, there we go. Well, Glasgow Warriors have done it. So there it is. Not the game that the Sharks would have wanted, but just outclassed. And I thought they were much better in the second half. Almost getting sort of themselves into a position for a bonus point. But just not being able to get the job done in the end. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you guys later for the game between the Munster and Stormers. So I'll see you guys then. Until then, keep safe and chat soon.